Hello friends, welcome to my channel Life Talks by Love. After food, clothing and shelter, the next most important thing is transportation. To move from one place to another, we need a vehicle. If you aspire to become a transportation designer or a car designer, then this video is going to be very important for you. Let's begin with a captivating session on how to become a successful car designer hosted at UPS by Mahindra's Chief Designer, Mr. Pratap Bose.
But I'm very glad I did because it's a very different kind of college or university. I didn't know what to expect, right? That's the thing, and I was very pleasantly surprised, and especially by not only the physical infrastructure that's important, but I think by all of you, the faculty team who are doing an incredible job, and I think all of you students as well. Design is a choice you make. It's a lifestyle. It's what you live, breathe, eat every day, every moment of your life. You shouldn't be in design if you're not like that. I used the word obsessed yesterday. You have to be obsessed. Because to last in this industry for 30, 40 years, or any industry, you're a doctor or a lawyer, it shouldn't feel like a job. Some days are harder than others, but to get out of bed and do this, you guys are here, you guys and girls are here. It means maybe 3, 4, 5 people who could have also been here are not here today. The seat you occupy is wanted by, I don't know how many multiples of people, right? So you should always think you're very lucky to actually be in a design school. To have these 4 years, to really, like I said, there's no mistakes. It's all learning. In learning, there's no mistakes. So push yourselves to the limit, to the maximum, because I was just saying to Janet, a lemon is just a lemon, right? It's a yellow sort of sphere. It's only when you squeeze it, you get something useful out of it. So squeeze, and then you squeeze even harder, you'll get a little more juice, right? So be ready for squeezing yourselves in that sense. Push yourselves. Don't arrive at a solution till you've not gone through the process. So, which is what was very important to me today. Why did we give those 2 hours? Because we didn't want you to jump to a solution. We want you to get involved in the process. What it actually takes. And the good thing is that all 8 groups will now have a project to actually work on in a way if you wanted to. So the product design team, the foundation students, you know what it's about now. And of course the TD guys and girls. You have a project now, you have a project area which is ready to go, right? Because how long does it take to even think of a project? Don't you take weeks? मैं क्या करूँगा यार, मैं दिखता हूँ ये वो, have endless cups of tea, momos. But this process really squeezes you. And I think the other part was, 7 or 8 of you were in a group. I hope it got the best out of each one of you. That the group succeeded in putting up something, right? And I also hope that as individuals you felt that there was something the group contributed that I couldn't have thought of myself. It was like, oh, that person said this shit, yeah, I should think like that. Maybe I wouldn't have thought of it, So take a lot of strength from your faculty, of course, but also from your peers. Take a lot of inspiration, ideas, bounce things off. Don't in this world of us living in the mobile phone, we're very insular. We like to keep things to ourselves. Don't do that. Share, and then you will get much more back in return. Do something even while you're sitting somewhere for tea or whatever. Even if it's informal, share your ideas. Because what you will get back from your peers will be multifold more important. So that's kind of the way you should live your life as a student and as a professional. A lot of people say, oh, there's this gap between industry and academia. Why did I call you guys CDOs today? That's what you should think you are going to become in 10, 12, 15 years, right? There's a journey, of course. You'll start at the bottom of the pile. But you should say, yeah, one day I'm going to become the chief design officer of Everyday EV or TVS or Mahindra or Tata or whichever company. If you think like that, it'll help you make some choices in life. You don't say, I'll get into the company and then see what happens, escalator pe chad jaake, and Either means going up or down, I don't care, right? But when you present as if you're the chief design officer or you're the chief exterior designer or interior designer or chief graphic designer or whatever, chief product designer of your company, you are your own best brand. All of you buy brands, right? All of you make a choice of what you wear, what you buy, what you eat. That how do you stand out in the thousands of portfolios and mails that actually a chief design officer gets? Thousands. If I had to add up what comes in my inbox from all different directions, it would be in the thousands. And only few will stand out. So what is your brand? What is your personal brand? What do I stand for? You did a USP thing here, right? It's the same thing. USP for a product and USP for you as an individual is as important. And believe me, the USP is not always the design school. I can tell you that. The design school is a great place, but it's not your USP. I graduated from RCA. Not everyone in RCA got a job, or NID, or anyone else, right? That is the structure in which you work. It is your company, but you are still that individual that has to create your own brand. So what do you stand for? What do you really believe in? What will you not do? What will you do? Those are choices that you have to make. So think of that very hard as you guys sort of go through your 4 years. That at the end of these 4 years, what am I going to stand for? I got a job at Mitsubishi because at RCA I decided I'm going to be a small car specialist. In those 2 years, I'm only going to design small cars. My graduation project was a small car, all of this, and it resonated with Mitsubishi because I told you about the K car segment. Everyone else in my group had done sports cars and I don't know, tents and God knows what else, aeroplanes, which is fine. If you apply to a company like that, you can. But stand for something. Be consistent what you stand for. And then coming to today, like I said, hierarchy of messaging. You are a storyteller. In most companies, you will be the only one who will be able to speak about overall program. The technical aspects, the human aspects, the manufacturing side. You have to know really a 360 degree of the product or services that you're going to be involved in. Many of you will be in a service industry, by the way. But you have to still know everything about it, in some authority, of course. You can't be an expert at everything, but having a good level of knowledge will help you a lot. Because believe me, in companies there's lots of different departments and the technical person will only do one hinge and he or she lives in that hinge or one opening, has no idea where that hinge goes in the overall product. The marketing people will say this is for Gen Z, Gen X, they'll throw lots of dates and demographic stuff at you. Someone from sales will say only red sells and white doesn't. You'll get a lot of inputs and you have to synthesize that as a designer. You have to design that information into a product and service. And the better you are at it, the more successful you will be. Successful doesn't mean monetarily successful. I mean, you will create success for your company or your team or your entity you're working with or your country, whatever. And yesterday I mentioned the Instagram point. It's a double-edged sword. I was showing some of you. We reached people in parts of the world we wouldn't have reached earlier, which means you have global competition. Like anything else, welcome to the real world. But it also means that you can get your message out to any people. You could be the person who goes and works in Canada or Brazil or in India or Japan, wherever. Take every opportunity that comes, especially in the beginning of your careers. Because after that, your life will force you to be a little more inflexible. In the beginning, don't say no to anything. Whatever you get, go do it to the best of your ability, use it to get something else. The automotive business now is just far beyond what you as an individual can handle. You will lose a lot of money.
Sir, do you think it is important for me to have in-depth technical knowledge or put my time into learning more technical knowledge if I'm trying to work on any product?
Yeah, I think you should have a technical base for sure.
Yes, or should I study what an engineer would know?
No, of course not. That's why I said, I don't think you can. So, like I said, your knowledge should be wide, but not necessarily very deep in every area. You should be the authority on design, for example. Anything in your company, design related, people should come to you. What's your name?
Hans.
Hans. Okay, we have a design issue, let's call Hans. But if they have like a suspension issue, they're not going to call Hans. But you should know how it works. What is the basis of like an architect will have to know a bit of civil engineering, right? So a designer will have to know a bit of product engineering. Otherwise it's impossible. How things are made, how they stay together, what is the technology that drives something. I think that knowledge you have to have, but am I going to tell you to invent a new kind of battery or a new kind of suspension or fix a suspension problem or a transmission problem in a car? No. You raised it and he started talking. I got like a stereo effect.
So like yesterday during a presentation, we saw a tractor. A tractor.
Yeah.
Mahindra tractor. It was kind of new and very unconventional kind of tractor. So what are your views about the aesthetic part of the commercial design, like construction equipment, trucks, buses?
Yeah.
What are your views on?
See, there's a classic case of in commercial vehicles, the buyer and the user being two different people. Classic case. Tractors, LCVs, trucks, buses, no private guy buys it and drives around, right? As you go bigger. So in tractors, we have a unique issue like that. The person who buys the tractor and the person who uses the tractor are two totally different people. Having said that, a lot of people, a lot of farmers and tractor fleet owners we interviewed during the process. They said, look, we are buying a Mahindra SUV, we are buying a Scorpio N, we are buying a 300, and those are so advanced, they are so comfortable. Why are tractors so backwards? They told us actually. So the tractor you saw yesterday, it's called Oja. That's a family range. There's 4 tractors in 4 sizes. So that's got an app. That app is used 400,000 tons in one day by farmers and by fleet owners. So it's the highest level of technology you can find. So a farmer, if he has one, or a fleet owner, if he has 10 tractors, they go on the Oja app and you can track which tractor is where. It's GPS, it's sort of geolocated. You can track how much fuel it's used, how much fuel it has left, what is the track it's done. Because some farmers, what do they do? Or some of the users, they would take the tractor, empty the diesel, and come back and say, main to kar liya. And the owner had no way of knowing that. So now with the app, you know exactly how much fuel is left, what was used, what was the. So you use technology in those ways, not for the sake of it. And then comes the aspirational side, that I'm a tractor owner, I'm a farmer, let's say, and I'm buying my own. I want it to be my SUV. I don't want to be looked upon, because my cousin in Canada, he's got a John Deere, or he's got a Case tractor, which is amazing. Why should I have something that looks like it's from the 50s? So they told us these things, that we want, if I'm a self-driven person, I want my tractor to look like a SUV. If I'm a fleet owner, I want it to have technology, because that's what's useful. So what is useful to who, and what makes the difference? So that's how we went about doing the whole Oja series. You can go on the website and see the ranges are incredible. It's absolutely incredible. But it's got some very useful functional features. So if you're spraying fertilizer, for example, so you usually in a tractor, you go up the field, you turn around and you come back down, right? And you're spraying. The moment you make that U-turn, the spray automatically stops. So it doesn't waste spray. Again, when you're back on the straight, it comes out automatically. So these are some insights we got from the farmers. Because just in that turn, you can, if you add it up over 1 year, if you're wasting half a liter of fertilizer, and you multiply that by the number of times you've gone up and down, by the number of tractors, by the number of days, it could be lakhs and lakhs that you've just sprayed where there's nothing to spray. So you have to use technology, features, USP. What is that USP? So our USP for that tractor was connected, and it automatically raises the implement when you turn. Sounds simple, but no one did it before. And I introduced the DRLs, LED DRLs because no tractor had it. And now they say, sir, हम तो road पे जाते हैं, दूर से लोगों को पता चलता है हम ओझा में आ रहे हैं. You know, they feel proud. Even if you don't own it, you feel proud you're driving it. You are driving the latest tractor. Someone else owns it, fine. But I'm, elevate. So design elevates life, right? In the end of the day, some of your road all of that.
सर एक क्वेश्चन लाइक अर्लियर जैसे महिंद्रा की जितनी भी कार्स थी वो हमें नो नॉनसेंस कार लगती थी कि लाइक कि कहीं पे भी खराब हो जाए और हम कहीं से भी ठीक करवा सकते हैं. लेकिन जैसे में नई कार्स आ रही है जैसे XUV 700 आई और जैसे नई कार्स हमको देख के थोड़ा सा डर फील होता है कि अगर ये खराब होगी पता नहीं कहाँ से ठीक.
That's true. That's true. That's true for all, and you know why that is because the world around us has become complex. The legislative scenario. You have BS6 now, BS 6.2. So you have to add a cat cone. You have to add a nitrogen tank. You didn't have this when you were going around in your ambassador, na? Those days you just carburetor se laga diya. The emissions, the fuel economy. So products are complex. You used to use a telephone also, na? Once in a while. Now you open your phone, no, right? So just be happy. That's life.
Sir, I was asking that in the present scenario, with Instagram and everything, like, is it possible for a young designer to, be someone or advance as a designer without traditional, masters or something like that?
I would say it's very difficult because more than the degree, more than the piece of paper, it's the process you go through. So, and that's what I want to say to all of you in whatever field you're in, product design, vehicle design, whatever it is. The end result is not just a sketch. The sketch actually captures the hundreds and hundreds of hours of the other stuff you've done. Sketch is not, a lot of people say, sir, here's my sketch. They send me hundreds of sketches. And, but it's got no context, the sketch has no knowledge. It's got no information, it's just a few lines, So, of course anyone can draw some lines on a wall, right? Or on paper or whatever. But where is the knowledge behind what that sketch is because of this. The hundreds of things you have to take care of. Some say it's just a sketch, who's it for, how's it made, what does it run on, no one knows. So don't lower yourself to that level. I truly say that. A lot of people say, I can sketch very well, can I be a designer in your company? I say no. Even if you are the best sketcher, you have no idea of the rest of it. Can you be a lawyer without studying? Can you be a doctor without studying? No, I can cure my headache, can I be a doctor? No, it sounds funny, right? It's the same thing. I can sketch, can I be a designer? No, it's one of the many things you need. In fact, the more you advance in your career, the lesser you'll actually sketch, by the way. Sad but true. Because you have to really ramp up everything else.
Communication with your team.
We do exactly this. We keep it open. There's no cubicles. There's no boundaries, no walls. You get people to present to each other. Communication comes with trust, right? At the end of the day. So if you can open up your vulnerabilities, is when people will trust you and vice versa. So that's the best way.
So you have been to multiple countries without knowing their regional languages. So in communications, haven't you felt any gap?
No, not at all. Thankfully. I used to draw a lot. So at least that helped. Yeah. We designed trucks and buses in Korea. Can you imagine? But most of it was done in the evening in the restaurant.
We won't tell us that.
No, communication comes with openness. If you are open, regardless of the language, and if someone can sense that, someone around you can sense that, they will open up to you as well. So I think that's fundamental. Trust each other. That's why I said trust your faculty, of course, but they're not with you all the time. But trust your peer group. I'm still friends with all my RCA colleagues, all. Literally every single one. you know.
So,
Yeah.
so you said that the company is actively recruiting via Instagram profiles and everything.
I know companies we are.
Yeah, sure. So, and there's obviously traditional channels of via emails and everything. So beyond this, is there any other channel for reach out? Like,
Go and stand outside the design studio. No, I think, like I said, you know, this is a good and bad thing, obviously, because you also get many totally random people also writing to you,
definitely.
which is a problem, you know. So thank God I have a good HR team to sift through all of that. But no, I think the best way is stay multi-medium or multimedia. But always look at it from, again, I'm your customer, right? If you want a job from me,
Yeah.
you are talking to me. What would you do to make it easier for me to look at you? Right? Because lots of people send me, and this is the most frustrating, they send me a link. The link goes to a website. You register on the website with my username and some password. Then I can get into you. I mean, it's like you don't actually want to show me anything. Is that the way to show something? No. That I have to jump through 6 hoops. It won't happen. Which is why I say Insta is so instant, as the name suggests. It's one of the best medium for us. But you know, other companies could have other ways. Sorry, I couldn't answer because I didn't understand the question. That must be a good question.
Okay, we are kind of done now.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and I'd like to thank Jayant, of course, say all of the faculty team and you know, students for your amazing participation. I'll go back with a lot of energy, re-energized with everyday EV and Vantage Motors. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.